Good morning. I just opened up the coop, fed these chickens here, and I have some bad news. There's my beloved Rooster. I never did give him a name, but he was a very good rooster. He was very gentle with the chickens. He didn't harass them too much. I think he died from Mareks, which is a type of chicken virus that kind of affects a lot of different things. It affects their excuse me. It affects their nervous system, their digestive system. They can get lesions and tumors on their skin, or they can express themselves in near their heart, near their in their digestive system, and they can cause blockages. Yesterday my son said that he came out to open up the coop and he was just kind of being lethargic, sleepy. He didn't want to come out of the coop, and he just kind of lifted his head and looked at my son and put his head back down, and like he was on the floor of the coop also, which is extremely unusual because the rooster always would perch on the perch. He would sit on the perch. He would never just sit on the ground. That never happens. Not with this guy. So anyway, now I gotta bury him, so it's gonna be tricky because the ground is fairly frozen, and I'm still trying to actually open up the doors. I think I'm gonna put him into one of my larger containers, because it'll be easier to get a hole dug in there, and also it'll be maybe more respectful in a sense. Like if I bury him in a garden bed, I'll be, in a couple years I'll be tilling there and dig up the remains, which is always a little bit unnerving. But anyway, so yeah, this Mareks thing is kind of a bad disease which spreads apparently through chicken dander, and so there's almost like no way to prevent it from happening again. And I suspect that that's what killed my other chicken, the one that I buried about I guess a couple months ago, because she kind of just, like the whole summer she was having like this paralysis in her legs, it seemed. So yeah, that's one other symptom. They have like paralysis in one leg or both legs, and she seemed to be having like an issue where she would get like a cramp, and all of a sudden her legs would splay out from under her and she couldn't get up, and then she was having a hard time jumping back into the coop, and sometimes my son would have to like pick her up manually and put her in there. She would never get on the perch. She would just sit on the floor. She did that most of the summer, and then she seemed to get better, and then all of a sudden she did the same thing. That's the rooster. I got up one day, I looked in the coop, and she was sitting in a nest box, and she was being kind of sleepy, and she lifted up her head, and she looked at me, and she was like, oh, and she put her head back down, and then, by the afternoon she was dead. So anyway, I'm not sure what to do about this. If anybody out there knows what to do, please let me know. I mean, I've read about it, but from what I read, it just seems like it's almost like a hopeless cause. know, they may or may not get it. Some of them might have it, but then they're asymptomatic. You know, the chickens that are here now, that are left, they seem okay. Well, this one here, this girl, she's got like crusty feet from, what do you call it? Probably mites. And so, you know, she walks kind of funny, but she doesn't seem to have, paralyzed legs. But anyway, so yeah, back to him. I have to take care of him. Anyway, here we go. So, this is the that large container that I used to have bok choy and everything in there. There's the January King cabbage in here that I've been keeping covered. So this is the one that was the beautiful heading one. It still looks alright. The head is still just very spongy. And this is the other one. This one looks like it's going to make it through winter very nicely. I might actually start harvesting those leaves soon. But in the meantime, here's my poor guy. I'm gonna just dump. I dug a hole for him. I would have dug it deeper, but this is actually the space where I put some, what do you call it, broken shards and whatnot for composting in place. So I had actually, anyway, it's kind of clogged up and it's frozen, and I don't feel like fighting too hard with this situation, so I just basically dug it as best I could. It's actually not that big, because all these feathers, they make a lot of bulk, but he's really not that fat. So my poor beloved Rooster, you served us well. You took care of my chickens, my ladies, your ladies, and we will miss you very much. Alright, so I'm gonna get some more soil from another pot, stick in there, make sure that he's well covered, because like I said before, with the other chicken that I buried, raccoons will sniff them out, sniff out that dead rooster that's buried in the soil, and try to eat it. So I'm gonna get some soil from other pots and stick it in there, and then I'm gonna put bricks or something on top to make sure that he's okay in there. I decided to replace, well, I have these on top of the this surface of this pot before. These are my winter sown seedlings. Well, they're not seedlings yet because they haven't sprouted, but I planted some seeds in these little mushroom containers and put a plastic bag over them, and I'm waiting for them to germinate. There's some stuff in the greenhouse too, which just doing pretty well. I'll just show you real quick. So here we go. It's very nice in here today. I think it's probably in like the 60s in the greenhouse. So here go some of the onions. They're greening up nicely. And there's microgreens. A lot of them actually did suffer. I don't know if you can see that these are all kind of knocked over. I think that some of them actually got frozen because, here we go. Yeah, this is, I don't think this is, what do you call it, damping off, because if it was dampened off, they would all be flats. I think they just got frozen, some of them. But these are doing okay. These are doing fine. It's doing spectacular. It's really doing very well in this greenhouse. There's this over here and this over here. Really nicely. I might actually be able to pick those for salad in maybe in a few weeks. I would like to start putting in what do you call it? I want to sort of heat the greenhouse, not really heat it, but make it warmer, or at least keep it from losing the heat that it does receive from this nice sunshine. To put these into place, these jugs. There's one back there. That one's full of water back there. But then I was thinking, well, it would be best if they were either painted black or covered with something black. So, and of course I forgot today, I was going to bring down some garbage bags to cover the jugs and then fill them with water, because of course it would be easier to do it that way. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully, maybe I'll do that this afternoon or tomorrow, I don't know. It's very nice and warm today, so anyway, so my plan is to cover them with garbage bags, black garbage bags, fill them with water, and then behind, on the other side of the greenhouse, I want to put a layer of leaves to allow, well, to not fertilize, insulate, as well as to bring in some kind of heat. And then I also have these milk jugs, there's a couple of them back there, that I'm going to paint black, so that they can also be like solar collectors, heat sinks, and then we can do something